Yeah, it's been a very good week. There's been some decent work that we've been able to get through in the last couple of days, albeit in some extreme weather conditions, but I'm sure everywhere is trying to contend with that. Groups recovered, I think, mentally from a tight defeat against an excellent team, and are ready to push on and really trying to affect what might be a pivotal period in the season. I think 7 out of the next 9 at home. So we're working towards getting as much as we can out of that period of time.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start here on the floor with Drake Hills. Go ahead, Drake.
Yeah, Gary, good to see you again. This is the first kind of bit where you guys aren't worried about midweek, trying to put in that 3 matches in 8 days type of preparation. Has that allowed you to maybe catch up with some of the guys that you're trying to reintegrate into the group? For instance, Hannibal Godoy. What's the status on him?
Yeah, Annabelle's still probably 4 or 5 days away from the group. So that interaction itself with the group has not taken place this week. But to your point, I think having what we would class as a fairly normal week, it gives everyone a chance. Number one, to I think digest some of the things that have gone on. There's been a lot of football gone on, some good soccer, and some things to look at, and of course try and improve. That I think that's always the case, and it certainly gives us a period of time to prepare, and you can get all of those facets of the week in a more orderly fashion, and certainly in a situation that the guys can absorb and they can appreciate and digest an awful lot better than when obviously you're turning around as quickly as a game every 3 days or so.
Just to follow up on that, in terms of the schedule, how does that allow you to integrate Shaq Moore into the team? And follow up to that, what are your first impressions of him? It seems like
Yeah, absolutely delighted to have Shaq here. I said on numerous occasions that we were doing our utmost to try and wait for an individual or individuals that would help elevate the team, improve the team, and I think we've done that resoundingly with Shaq in the group. Lot of hard work from Mike's end in sticking with it and making sure that the deal was going to get done. There were certainly times, I'm sure he'll tell you that he probably suspected otherwise, but it takes a lot of patience, and we finally added somebody that I think will have a terrific effect on the group. He's been able to work with us today. He'll do likewise tomorrow. We're very close to his ITC. I expect that to be in. And he's done some testing today. He's obviously kept himself in very good shape. He's a very genuine lad, and I see no reason why, if all the paperwork's through, that he won't be included in some way, shape or form at the weekend. And then of course we get a clear week again to Vancouver, and I think it'll do him the world of good to get a week's training under his belt with the group, and I'm sure over the next week or 10 days, whilst he knows a couple of the guys, he'll be doing his very utmost to familiarise himself with people, with the players around him, the important individuals that he connects with, and of course understanding one or two of the dynamics of the group. But yeah, absolutely great to have him.
Yes. Adding him to the team now, how do you think that could elevate you guys at this point in the season when you really need to push for the playoffs?
Yeah, I always think there's a couple of things that help the group. First one is, his status, full stop. He's got himself in the US national group. A lot of competition there, obviously, for that right back slot. But I think he's got himself in a really good position, and I've no doubt this will only enhance his chances. Certainly playing alongside Walker as well has got to be a benefit and a bonus for him, and I would suspect maybe for the US manager. The other side of it, of course, is the calibre of the player. The dynamic that he brings is different to anything that we have in the group. we have good bodies, but his pace, his energy, his ability to be a tad more creative and more effective going forward, whilst also being, I think, one of the best 1v1 defenders that I've seen in a good while. That also frees up the ability for others to go and be more creative, knowing that, you know, he's more than capable of doing his own job and doing it well. And then, you know, I think finally, having met the lad, he's a really genuine boy, you know. I think that personality comes out quickly. Individuals that want to do well. He's obviously got, you know, big aspirations for being part of that World Cup squad. You can see that in the way that, not just the way that he conducts himself, but the way that he's turned up athletically tells me that, you know, he's really got the bit between his teeth, and he's going to be working tirelessly to put himself in a good spot. So there are many different facets of your question, but I think all of those add up to being a very good signing.
Any follow-up?
What do you see from Cincinnati, and what do you hope to see from your guys on the field this weekend?
Well, from what I've seen, they're a much improved group from the last couple of years. When I say much improved, I think Pat's done a wonderful job of just refocusing this group. Obviously, a couple of additions, but refocusing and I think in many ways knuckling down to some of the dirtier aspects of the game. You know, being tough to play against, building that confidence within the group of earning points and you know, continuing to work their way up the Eastern Conference table when in some games you might not have expected to get anything. That builds an internal, I think, confidence and strength, and I think he's done a wonderful job of putting them in a really strong position right now in the Eastern Conference, in a tough Eastern Conference. From what I've seen, it hasn't taken away any of their creative edge or any of their ability to be effective in an attacking sense. So the balance, from where I see it, is in a good place for him, and it'll be a really tough game, really tough.
We'll go back here to Drake Hills, and then we'll go over to Ben Wright on the Zoom. Go ahead, Drake.
You just had a question about technically his skill set, Shaq. Obviously, a lot of praise for his 1v1 defending, his ability to get upfield, and his crossing ability as well, his service. In addition to that, when you look at the tape through this whole process, what jumped out on the screen to you in terms of what he can do both offensively and defensively?
Well, I think you've really summarised it, Drake. I mean, I'm not too sure there's much more I can dig into there, but when you look at individuals in whatever position they're in, we'll be able to identify a number of players who you'd say they're really good creators, but they're not very good team players. But they're in the team because they create chances. Then you'll say, well, that guy there's a really good team player. He does the dirty work for the guy that doesn't want to do the dirty work, and the balance is good. If you look at Shaq, he's capable both sides of the ball. That's what makes him such an important and I think exciting addition to the group. His attacking ability, I think he would agree, is very much based around his pace and his acceleration. I'm not expecting Shaq to be twisting fullbacks in the opposite back line inside out, but what I've seen an awful lot from him is his understanding and connection with others to utilise that pace. And that becomes a threat then. That becomes damaging for the other team and a different dimension for ours. As far as defending goes, I can't be any clearer. I think he is one of the best 1v1 defenders that I've seen in a long time. It's not just about the technical element, the body shape, the footwork. It's about the intensity, the intent of stopping the person against him being effective, getting a cross in. Everything matters. Everything matters. One cross that comes into the box, that's an important slight and blot on his copybook. And you can see that when he plays. And there ain't many players in the modern game that are that intent on restricting their opponent whilst also being capable of affecting the game going the other way.
Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, Gary, we talked to Mike yesterday, and he mentioned that you guys looked at, he said 30 to 40 right backs, and pretty quickly you started comparing all of them to Shaq and just saying that there are other good options, but they weren't as good as Shaq. Can you just talk a little bit about that process? And then, like you said, his 1v1 defending ability, how much does that impact your overall ability to be more aggressive, especially at home?
Yeah, Mike's absolutely right. There was an awful lot of work going on behind the scenes. You know, Mike's will have been in person, certainly at the point at which we were able to, you know, make an offer and have a discussion with the player, or the agent, and the club. But to your point before that, you know, we've been looking for a long time. You know, I don't need to go into it any more than we already have done. Alistair's deal was a good deal for both parties. You know, we got an awful lot back. And in the process of that, we've been trying to find somebody that gives us a different dynamic to the team than we had. It wasn't that we didn't like Alistair. It was we needed and wanted something different. But whilst also not losing some of those qualities that we have done in the last 6 months. And the comparing and the sort of balancing of, you know, some really good attacking fullbacks that we looked at, some really good defending fullbacks. Well, we're not getting better though as a group. And I think, as I've said here in one of the questions, the other piece of it is there are junctures in the season where you can give the team a boost. And I think his presence, what he's been able to achieve, what he's fighting for, where he could be at the end of the year, and the group that he could be in at the World Cup, I think gives everyone not only a bit of a shot in the arm, but I think it also gives everyone a bit more of a reality check that, you know, we're still fighting very much for some, you know, some very decent positions in this Western Conference. There's a big fight on, and we just got better.
Yeah, for me it was overall a package. Mike Jacob was really instrumental in this move. You know, he's been tracking me for a while, so you know, just this interest in me from a while back was you know, very important. Also, like you said, playing with Walker, I think that's a good partnership to start to build, and yeah, just felt like it was the best time, the best move at this point in my career, and I'm really happy with it.
Shaq, welcome, and I know Nashville SC is a newer club, but there's just been so much buzz around it, obviously with the opening of Geodis Park. What have you kind of known about the club, and how excited are you to join something like this that is new but has so much fandom?
Yeah, I learned a bit. I followed the club before, since Walker was playing here, since we played together in the national team. So heard great things about it. I went to the stadium yesterday for the first time. It was beautiful, just the atmosphere that I've seen, and it's just really something that I really want to experience. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and the project that we have, building here.
Go ahead, Nikki.
Hi, Shaq. I'm Nikki from Channel 4. What do you think you can bring to this team with the experience that you have, and what do you hope to do in a quick time here?
Just help the team overall, whether that's attack and defense. Like you said, I think I have experience to help out the team as well. I think it's a hole that they've been trying to fill for a while, and yeah, I just think I can just help in any way that the coach wants me to, and yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Go ahead, Drake.
Yeah, Shaq, but in terms of where you're at in this year, obviously the World Cup is a little bit different than any other year would have been going on right now. But of course, with the November World Cup, I'm curious as how you want to approach hitting the ground running with Nashville. What are some of the things you want to work on, and obviously the way Nashville plays? Do you think that maybe in a way mimics at some point what the U.S. does in terms of playing style, what outside backs do?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I think I want to get fit. That's the first thing before I get any minutes on the field. I think it's a great opportunity for me, to get games in, like you said. Playing wise, I've had like 2 trainings here, or 1 training actually with the team, and different mechanisms that they do with the ball, without the ball, Joe. I think that'll help me going forward, whether that's here or with the national team. So yeah, like I said, it's still a bit early right now to kind of see, but I think as the time goes on and the game's on, I think I'll start getting it.
When you come in at this point of the season, I know there's a big chunk that's already gone. So what's the way you go about kind of coming the guys and making sure that you're ready to jump in?
I would say just take it day by day, with open ears. Try to learn as much as I can, whether that's on the field, whether that's off the field, about my teammates, about the coach. We just had video here, watching a few clips. So I think on the field, obviously you want to get working, but obviously off the field too, watching videos, seeing what the guys do. I think that helps a lot as well.
Thank you, Jeff. Follow-up?
What are you most excited for to be in Nashville?
A few things. Being close to home. Atlanta's like right down the street, so that's something I'm excited about. Also, playing in the new stadium in front of these fans, I think that's something to look forward to. And also just being part of the growing culture in the league. I think it's growing a lot, and happy to be a part of it.
Great, Jeff. Follow-up?
Yes, you mentioned it at the end of that answer there, just in terms of getting adjusted to the league.
Mm-hmm.
Although you had a little bit of time with Dallas in your academy life, but having gotten used to La Liga 2, what do you think? What are you expecting in terms of how you need to adjust? Some things you might need to get used to in MLS play.
I would say the climate. Playing during the summer, that's definitely something you gotta get used to. It's a lot more humid here. I think the physicality. I think it's a bit quicker, a bit more physical. You're gonna play against good players as well, good attacking players, and I think it all in a whole, it'll take time to get adjusted, but I think I'm ready for it.
Go to the Zoom. We'll start with Tim Sullivan, then go to Ben Wright. Go ahead, Tim.
I wanted to ask about your relationship with Mike Jacobs, how that came about, and how it progressed to the point where you were comfortable signing with Nashville SC and making this the next step in your career.
Yeah, Mike was, like I said, was instrumental in this move. We've had dialogue for a while back. So just knowing that he's been interested from a while back, it seemed genuine, his interest. It seemed like he was looking out for my best interest, so that played a crucial part. Like you said, I think we tried to get a deal done in January. It wasn't to be, but now that he just stayed persistent, I think with that persistence, he finally got his reward, and now it's up to me to kind of just repay him for all that trust he's given to me.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, Shaq, welcome to Nashville, first off.
Thank you.
It's been pretty well documented that it was kind of a long process between you and Nashville. I'm just wondering, what makes moving to MLS and Nashville the best step for you right now in your career with other European interests? Why did you choose Nashville right now?
I think, like I said, the MLS is growing a lot. The culture here, a lot of players are coming here to play. I think it's a good league. You have good players coming, and I think you're going to be challenged every weekend that you play. I think the level is gone up too, and the chance to get games in. I think that was crucial as well. So, and I just think it's all around. It checked all the boxes for me to be here.
Next, we go to Claudio Villalobos, then go back to Tim Sullivan. Go ahead, Claudio.
Thank you, Matt. Shaq, when you look at when anybody looks at your age, only 25-year-old, it seems like you've been here forever, playing football. And then besides the question that all the colleagues ask, Nashville has become one of those places where maybe a lot of people thought soccer didn't have a chance. What was your impression? As soon as you got to the city, look at the stadium, and the whereabouts? What do you think now about Nashville?
I think it's a beautiful city, first and foremost. I think, I'm still learning and still, getting seen in a bit, but I think it's a beautiful city, and it's definitely taken to the team very well. Selling out the crowd, 30,000. I think that's big for the sport here, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Go ahead, Tim.
I know you're pretty new to the team, obviously, but how does it feel for you to not only be seen as maybe an important piece for pushing towards the playoffs and pushing towards a potential MLS Cup, but what do you see out of the team that gives you confidence that that's a possibility for you guys come the end of this season?
I think as a whole, I think we have a great group. Obviously defensively, I think that's probably our strong point right now. I'm not sure the stats, but I'm sure one of the better teams defensively. I think we can probably take a step forward offensively, but I think that'll come. Hopefully, we can start to peak at the right time. And like I said, I'm just here to help. I know we have a great group here, so I'm just trying to help and do the best I can.